Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. My name is Sean David. Again, thanks for tuning in. Let's talk some old school NBA basketball. In today's episode, I want to take a look at the 1992 Dream Team, the original Dream Team. Not only talk about who I think was the greatest player on that team and the second best player on that team, but also give you some facts about the Dream Team, so everything involving the Dream Team. And if you watch the video to the end, you will see that I also spoke to Magic Johnson, who also gave me his opinion about the Dream Team. So make sure you watch the full video. And I would say enough said. Let's dive right into it. So where do we start? I would say let's take a look at how the team actually became a team. As most of you guys probably know, the 1992 Dream Team was the first professional basketball team the US ever sent to the Olympics. Before, the US team always consisted of college players, who of course would later become mostly NBA players, but still were far away from being grown men. And most of the times the college players were still good enough to bring home the gold medal. Until the year 1988, that is, when the US lost against the golden generation of the Soviet Union and only brought home the bronze medal. To most Americans, this was really embarrassing. Now everything was about to change. Finally, the US was ready to send in their best players, much to the displeasure of many other countries. But even then, nobody knew how good that team, which would later be known as the Dream Team, would become.
The Bulls have repeated. Let the party begin.
After the legends of the 80s had lifted the league's profile to new heights, a fresh crop of players had blown the lid off.
Here's Ewing. Robinson. Yes.
Their talents and their charisma made them more than just basketball players.
I am not a role model.
They were a new kind of star athlete whose popularity transcended the game.
Like Mike. If I could be like Mike. I'm gonna be like Mike.
Is it the shoes? No, Mom.
And now the very best of them awaited their brightest showcase, the world's largest athletic stage, the Olympic Games in Barcelona, Spain.
So let's take a look at the roster, and I know that there are a couple of players missing who easily could have been on that team, like Isiah Thomas and Shaquille O'Neal, but I think in overall the team was pretty impressive. So we had Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Chris Mullin, Clyde Drexler, John Stockton, Scottie Pippen, Christian Laettner, who was the only college player on the team, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Karl Malone, and Charles Barkley. So who of these superstars was the best player? Well, it is very important to repeat that we are not talking about who was the best player in general, but who was the best player at that time in 1992. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. Jordan obviously was in his prime and by far the best player on that team. Not only did he win a championship for the second time, but also in 1992, he was in a league of his own. If you talk to anyone on the team, he would confirm what I'm saying right now. So let's hear what Magic Johnson told me when I spoke to him recently.
David, what's up?
Hey Magic, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Good. Now I know you don't have much time, so I'll come right to my first question. I was always curious about, with the 1992 Dream Team, who to you, in your opinion, was the best player on that team, and why?
Well, we knew Michael Jordan was the best. No question about it. Michael was definitely the best. It was his league at that time. He even told Larry Bird and I, when the Dream Team was over, he said, listen, it's a new sheriff in town. And we both had to agree he was right.
So this one probably was not a big surprise to anyone. But let's talk about who was the second best player. And I can guarantee you, if you haven't seen the games back in the days, this might be a big surprise to you. Was it Clyde Drexler, who many considered to be the Michael Jordan of the Western Conference? Or was it David Robinson, who was close to become a true NBA superstar? No, man, it was Sir Charles Barkley.
Well, we knew Michael Jordan was the best, no question about it. And then Charles Barkley had a great run. Charles Barkley had an incredible Dream Team Olympic series. Every single game he dominated with Michael.
I want to go back to 1992, the Dream Team. That you were considered the leader, the MVP, and the anchor of that team. Chuck Daly said Barkley brought the most intensity and fire each and every day, each and every game. And even Magic said Charles Barkley was the MVP.
You were the second best player on that.
Hell yeah.
You were the second best player on the Dream Team, Chuck.
Go back and look. Go back and I get to my point then? Go ahead, please. My point is this. With that being said, Mike got the notoriety, Bird got the notoriety, and Magic got the notoriety. Did you feel some type of way?
No, I'm gonna tell you why, Fred. Number one. Okay, let me tell you something. Chuck Daly said to me, he said, Charles, can I talk to you a second? I said, yeah, Chuck, anything. He says, you're the second best basketball player in the world. I said, who bet me? He says, that motherfucker right there. I said, you're right about that. I says, but thank you. And I said, and I've said it many times, that's the best compliment I've ever gotten from somebody. I said, I actually agree with you.
You know, in preparation for the video, I took the time to look at almost every single game of the 1992 Olympics involving the US team, and I gotta say, Charles Barkley was incredible. And it just shows how good he was if he really put his mind and soul into it. I think nowadays many people overlook how great he was because he's that entertaining person on NBA TV, but if you really give credit to Charles Barkley, you have to give credit to Charles Barkley, because this guy in his prime was definitely not only one of the best players of all time, but he actually makes my top 25 list of all time.
Or opponent, Charles Barkley is their worst nightmare.
How about bad dogs?
Charles split the defenders and rips it.
I played a high level of intensity.
Oh, he's hammered by Barkley.
Really high.
And Charles just in ecstasy. Charles Barkley is an emotional volcano who thrives while wreaking havoc on the hard.
He plays with you mentally. He'll hit you and look at you crazy and make you wonder what he's thinking.
He's an extraordinary talent, but he's just kind of crazy. It took me a while to get used to him.
Here's a breakaway now for Elo, and Barkley pings it against the
But when you take a closer look, it becomes clear that there is a method to Barkley's madness.
I work harder than anybody there is. I mean, there may be people who work just as hard, but nobody works harder than I do.
Standing just over 6 feet 4 inches tall, he's had to. Not blessed with the classic basketball body, Barkley has used his fiery intensity to develop a unique combination of physical skills that has changed all the rules.
He uses his gift very well, and he plays the game a little different from everybody.
5 boards for Cliff Robinson. Whoops. The sucker play by Barkley. Does it work? Yeah.
How much do you know about Angola, the guy that you would be playing there? And
I don't know anything about Angola, but Angola's in trouble.
How did you feel in 1972 when the Soviet Union beat the United States in that wild game?
Well, I had just flunked my entrance exam into kindergarten, so that was the only thing, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Michael. This is like
Charles, what are you doing, lying again?
spring break in the ghetto. It was kind of just like hanging out at a big...
Come on, man, with your bowling ball head.
Hey, that was a good joke. Did you do that too? I did. That's pretty damn good. Sometimes I dream that he is me. I just want to be like Chuck. I mean, Mike.
You know, looking back at the 1992 Dream Team, I just gotta say I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity and the chance to see them play. Even though I was a very young kid at that age, I already knew that I was watching something truly special. I mean, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Clyde Drexler, and even though Magic Johnson and Larry Bird weren't in their prime, I mean, they are players who rely on their basketball IQ anyway, they were still sensational, and I'm just so grateful. And if you have the chance, go on YouTube, watch the games. I can really recommend it to every one of you. This is not a waste of time. It is your time well spent. Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, click the notifications button, and I hopefully see you next time on the Basketball Time Machine.